Third row to your right.
Hey, what's up, Annie?
Your team came back and won all three quarters after the first, but what was your message to them about coming out and withstanding a punch like that in the first?
I think Vegas is too good of a team to get behind like that. I thought we were a little timid. And I don't know, it seems like we weren't ready to play at the beginning of the game. So that may have been on me.
Next question, second row center.
James, there was a lot of talk going into this game. You know, there was some concern expressed about Courtney, obviously coming off, you know, being absent for 4 games. Were you at all worried about her going into this game?
No. I knew if we put her in a uniform, she would be ready to play. So that's what, and it's no, up to this point, you know, it's no excuses. So she was in a uniform, so it was go time.
Next question, second row to your right.
Hey, Coach. Did Courtney say anything about how she was feeling after the game physically, or?
After the game?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't talked to her after the game, so I'm not sure.
On the court, I mean, Rebecca just had another stellar game on the guarding on the perimeter.
Yeah.
How much did that contribute with you all being able to cut the deficit that was once, I think it was like 25-4 at one point in the first quarter, down to 7 late in the third?
Yeah, I mean, it gave us a level of toughness that we needed. Probably should have got her in there a little bit earlier. Yeah, I guess I got to find some time for her to really, especially when it seems like we're lacking some toughness. Just got to find some minutes for her early and just ride that out. I really felt like the first quarter put us behind. And I don't know when she came in the first quarter, but I probably put her in a little bit too late.
James, next question, first row left.
Hi, James. Would you say the Aces were doing anything on defense in that first quarter that was really giving you all a tough time? And if so, when they do play defense like that, how does that make them that much tougher of a team?
No, I mean, all respect to Vegas. They're a good team, but I don't know if they did anything to kind of cause us to play the way we were playing. But, you know, you can go with it. I can say, yes, they did. But they're a great team. They're coached great. That's a great organization. And, you know, they definitely deserve the Commissioner's Cup. And, you know, kudos to them. And, yeah, hope they have a good flight back. And hopefully it's charter.
Go. Next question to your left in the third row, all the way to the left.
How you doing, Coach? So it seems like in the 3 games that you guys have played against the Aces, they have a very, very similar script as far as them getting out to a high start, you guys coming back, and then back and forth throughout the course of the game.
Yeah.
So do you feel like in those games specifically, is it more of like a thing where you guys need to hit more shots more than anything, or do you feel like it's more so the defense, or?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, we can't give a team 33 points in the first quarter. We got to score more than 14. We can't start from behind. We have to continue to be persistent and not look for any bailouts and not have expectations coming into the game. Well, we can have expectations, and we know what those expectations are going to be. And so, you know, we're Chicago Sky, and they're Vegas. And that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. That's a big market team, and we're not. And so we can't expect anything going into the game. We have to grind it out. We have to beat Chicago, just like the city. We have to grind, you know, and you can't expect shit. Can't expect shit. And even when life doesn't seem fair, shit doesn't matter. That's when you got to get tough. And that's what we're going to do. We have to do it because that's the only thing I know. It's the only thing I know. And as long as I'm here, that's how I'm going to be. And so I might complain about stuff during the game after the game is over. You know, I don't care about what we see as even on both sides. We're not an even team. They're Vegas and we're Chicago. And that's what I want to be because that's the way I was born, uneven. And that's what I'm going to put on this team, that we're going to conquer shit unevenly. And at the end of the day, we'll be standing. And so that's how it's got to go.
Next question, third row center.
He has another.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Thank you. Sorry. And then my last question is, so it seems like you guys are at your best when you're able to force a lot of tough twos. So when the team has players that can hit those shots, especially late in the shot clock, does that kind of sway you guys off of what your alignment is typically, or how you feel about those?
I mean, normally, yeah. But when you have the best three-point shooter in the league getting 9 wide open threes, it's just not anything that we practice or anything that we worked on. And you have to have that attention to detail and that sense of urgency, because if you give it to them, they're going to take it. And so I thought we weren't disciplined. And if we were disciplined, you would have seen more of that and less of what you saw tonight early.
Third row center.
Coach, I know you're not going to make any kind of excuses, but was there a little bit of after effects from the travel on Saturday to New York?
What travel?
And then just going into the latter half of the latter 7 games of the season, how do you take a game like this that's outside the regular season schedule and use that as preparation, as fuel to kind of close things out against a somewhat tough schedule, games against Connecticut and then Las Vegas again?
It was a championship game, and we lost. I don't think the schedule is any tougher, though. I don't care who we play. I don't think the schedule is any tougher than whoever anybody else has got, because at the end of the day, it's about when I wake up in the morning, I look at myself in the mirror. When I go and talk to our team, I look at them, and they have to play us. And I don't feel like we came with that approach tonight, because we weren't ourselves in the first quarter, and that was clear. So, yeah, but we'll learn from it. We'll learn from it.
James, thank you. I will begin right away with questions for Coach Hammon. Becky, we're going to start to your right in the third row.
Hey, Becky, Annie here from the Sun-Times. That fourth quarter, actually the second through the fourth quarter, the Sky staging that comeback, what did you say to your team to encourage them, not to have what happened last game be repeated?
Just to stay solid defensively, handle the pressure, and to continue to play defense. That game that we had in Vegas, they're the champs. They're not going to go away easily. I mean, it's not going to be easy. That's a very, very good basketball team. They're coached very well. They understand how to play. They understand what it takes to win. Even tonight, it wasn't easy. I mean, they're not going anywhere. I don't care if we're up by 50. They're not going anywhere. So my message to them was just to stay solid defensively and then offensively handle their pressure.
Next question. First, second row to your right.
Coach, Chelsea Gray really stepped up in the third quarter, especially when the Sky started to get on that run. I mean, what did you see from her where she was able to go back and forth with the 2021 Finals MVP?
I mean, Chelsea's a gamer. She's a huge part of what we do. She is the extension of the coach out there. Hell, I'm her assistant. I tell her all the time, if Chelsea calls something or I call something, you listen to Chelsea. So when the head coach calls something, you run it. But really, she's somebody who likes big moments, and she likes to take and make big shots. So to me, she is the cooling factor. When things get a little hot, out of control, the pressure starts to rise, she is the cooler.
Next question will come from the first row to your left.
Hi, Becky. Going back to the theme that you've mentioned earlier today about you can't outgive life or the game, I was wondering if you saw any one player particularly embody that today, or the team as a whole embody that in any one moment?
I think especially in the first quarter, obviously you come out and the ball's popping, right? So there's a lot of different people. I thought Asia was sensational. 6 blocks, 17 boards, 17. I mean, there's a lot of people that contributed. KP got us off to a hot start coming out. It was a full team effort. I thought Kia gave us great minutes. I thought Raquana gave us. So there's a lot of people to credit with the win, but I thought Chelsea made some big ones. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of credit to pass around. And I think Chelsea would tell you that too, which she already did actually in her little speech.
We're going to have one more from the room, and then we're going to turn to Zoom for a bit. Becky, directly in front of you, row 2.
Hi, Becky. There has been a lot of talk and a lot of speculation leading up to this game with people saying that this was a precursor to the finals this year. I'm just wondering, like, what your thoughts would be on an Aces and Sky matchup for this year's finals.
I mean, there's just a lot of basketball to be played between now and then. I think Seattle probably has something to say about that. Connecticut, Washington. It's a game. We're happy to win it, obviously, but it's not it's not the ultimate goal. It's a nice little thing, and I want the girls to remember how it feels. I want them to remember how we got here, which is together and playing with each other. The Sky are a lethal team because they play together. They are to me, the ultimate team. Move it, move it, move it. Everybody's willing passers. They have 2 really good passing post players. They're a handful. They're hard to guard because it's anybody on any given night that can hurt you. So as much as I want them to enjoy this moment, I also want them to remember this moment and understand that it takes all of us to get there.
Next question, we're going to turn to Zoom. We're going to start with Andy. Andy will be followed by Meredith. Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Becky, thanks for the time. You've talked a little bit about the defense, but I wanted to specifically ask about your three-point defense to hold a team that includes Allie Quigley to 20% shooting from 3 and to hold her to just 3 points. How difficult is that, and what were you guys trying to do out there?
This is a team that really wants the paint, and they came back really by getting downhill and into the paint. Obviously, Allie is somebody you have to game plan for. You don't want her teeing you up. I thought some of it, even with Vandersloot, they just missed. So some of that is just they didn't have a great night. Some of it is a tribute to our defense. So, like I said, I thought actually when late game when we just started Reading, made it real super clean for our players, probably was our best defense. But you can't give a whole team, you can't start out like that and just put your bigs in a hard spot, put your littles in a hard spot because they start getting rolled down there. The perimeters, start going at the bigs, ISOing a little bit. You saw Kalia Copper do that a little bit. So just trying to mix up looks, make it as difficult as possible. But our paint was more the focus, and I thought in the second half they really got into the paint, which actually opens up their 3-ball. Like I said, so some of that is they just missed, and some of that was our defense and our second and third efforts, which is really important against this team because they're going to break you down at one side. You have to have multiple efforts to stop this team.
100%. And then real quick, I know you talked about Chelsea's game today, but especially after she missed out on the All-Star game, how nice is it to see her get some real recognition tonight?
I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was appropriate. We missed her last time we were in Chicago. So for her to come out and have a great game and be recognized as a great player in a big moment, super happy for her and well-deserved. Like I said, she's a huge part of what we do. What do you think about Chelsea Gray? She's pretty good?
Yeah.
Did you like anything specific about her play tonight?
No, she plays the same as she does every night.
That's a great answer. You're right. She does. She's super solid every night.
We're going to stay with Zoom and go to Meredith. Meredith, go ahead.
Hey there, Coach. Meredith Cash from Insider here. I was actually wondering if I could have a follow-up with your assistant. Would that be okay if I ask a question?
Sure thing.
Kaden, what do you think of the team's performance tonight overall, and how are you planning to celebrate? I imagine it might be past your bedtime right now.
No, I don't go to bed later than this.
You gonna put me on blast like that? How are we gonna celebrate?
We already did in the locker, or is that?
Yeah, in the locker room, yeah.
Okay.
Did you bring a towel with you so your eyes
Yes.
think? Yeah. Good thing you have glasses because protects your eyes from that
Yeah.
champagne.
Mhm.
What'd you think of the girls?
Like, what do you mean?
Like how they played?
Played? I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Anybody specifically?
No. No.
No. Everybody was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good answer.
All right, we're going to return to the room, a third row to your left.
How you doing, Coach?
Good.
Now, you guys have won 6 of your last 7, including tonight, coming out of the All-Star break. Before the break, Asia mentioned that the break came at a good time because you guys had kind of lost your feel and lost your identity in a sense. So now responding like that, was that a point of emphasis for you guys coming out the gate? And how do you feel about how things have gone since?
No, I mean, we had a little bit of a coming to Jesus moment after All-Star. I think the way we finished that last 2 to 2.5 weeks before All-Star left a pretty bad taste in everybody's mouth. And right now, like I said, it's just all about defense. You know, if you want to play, you're going to play defense. So give me some people that want to compete on that end of the floor, and I feel like our offense takes care of itself. So they've responded for the most part, I've thought. I have some great leadership. And here's my leadership walking in right here. There they are. So you can ask them. I mean, all I can tell you is we had a little meeting, and basically most times, 9 out of 10 times when I challenge these ladies, they respond. So you can ask the real dogs in the room.